The other question is, though, other than Shane Bieber, how long can you afford to be patient? Cal Quantrill has not. I mean, he had one good start, and yesterday wasn't good. Zach Plesac has struggled. You can't keep going to that bullpen. You got to get 6. Eventually, more than Bieber has to give you 6. Although Logan Allen did, you need more innings from the starting pitching.
Yeah, and that's to me, I think it goes back to what we were talking about last segment, where I can identify little things on the roster that will correct themselves over time. But this is a rotation in transition, and I think McKenzie will be back in a month. I don't really know what Savali's timetable is, but you're right. It's been very pedestrian. The starting pitchers don't throw hard, they don't get strikeouts, and it feels like a ton of traffic. Whether it's Plesac on the mound, even Bieber has been giving up a lot of hits. Quantrill certainly has. So you can't just assume that these highly touted rookies are going to come up and rescue you and save the day and lead you to a championship. But you do need to make some decisions at some point, because you do know that even if those guys aren't the answers in 2023, they're going to be here beyond that. And at some point, you have to decide, you know what, it might be best for us to let Tanner Bybee and Logan Allen and Gavin Williams just get some lumps out of the way now, and they'll benefit from it later. But it's tough to do because you're making these decisions in real time as the season's unfolding. And, it's guys are coming and going. McKenzie will come back. Savali will come back. And then maybe that's when you have to make some decisions on Quantrill and Plesac. Yeah,
and again, you expect to be a factor in the American League. And right now, you need a lot of things to change if that's going to happen.
Right, and then that's where it's. I mean, it might sound like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth, but it is a little early. It's April, and you don't need to have those answers yet. But you need to have a path to the answers. I think that's the key. Is last year at this time, first of all, nobody outside of that clubhouse thought there was a contender. But at least you knew when Bobby Bradley and Yu Chang and Bradley Zimmer and Oscar Mercado were in the lineup every day in April. You knew that those guys weren't the long-term solutions and that there were more intriguing options beneath the surface, right? So you had a path to whatever the next step was. So what's the path to the next step this year, which is to go farther than you did last season? Well, and they're in the starting pitching side of things, it's clear that it's those kids. It's just when is the right time to pull the trigger on handing the keys over to them and finding another role or another home for some of the guys that you've been using.